90 years ago, the Virginia Farm Bureau made our local farmers a promise to protect and preserve a way of life they worked so hard to establish. Today, our insurance agents work to protect all Virginians, not just farmers. We want to keep Virginia, Virginia. More information is at farmbureauadvantage.com.
The remarkable soybean. From its oil, we get products like ink, candles, and paint. From its meal, we get a high-protein fiber used in foods and animal feeds. Natural soy is replacing chemicals and products you use every day. You can learn more about soybeans at vasoybean.com.
We've seen increasing demand for meat goats in Virginia in recent years. This week we visit with the Carpenter family in Mount Crawford, Virginia, to learn more about the ever-popular Boer goat. We also have a story on the amazing technology being used in the modern seed industry. Plus, we'll have some tips on growing tropical houseplants. Those stories and more on this episode of Virginia Farming. I'm Jeff Ishii. Growers of wine grapes in Virginia are still reflecting on the year gone by, and some say it was possibly one of the best years ever for Virginia wine grapes. Growers are now pruning their vines for 2018, but many say the year 2017 provided the ideal combination of a rainy summer with prolific growth, followed by a hot and dry fall. The warm, dry weather we saw in late summer resulted in a longer growing season, and that allowed the fruit to fully ripen on the vine. Bottom line, a near perfect balance of sugar and acid levels in the grapes, which will hopefully result in 2017 being a year to remember when it comes to quality wines in Virginia. The seed industry has changed dramatically over the past few decades. The cutting-edge technology available to Virginia farmers today makes it possible to grow better crops and feed more people than ever before. Modern, high-yielding crop production in Virginia has been made possible by significant increases in seed technology. Whereas your grandfather may have gone down to the feed and seed store and ordered a bag of seed corn, modern farmers use seeds that are tailored to certain production aspects and the environment on their particular farm. That's according to Steve Collins with Virginia-based Augusta Seed, who says the technology used in seed corn increased rapidly starting about 30 years ago.
Roundup Ready trait, which protects you as an herbicide trait, protects the crop against overspraying with Roundup, came about in the 1990s. And then very shortly thereafter, we started adding insect traits to put with that to guard against corn borers and rootworms, which can be devastating to corn crops.
In the year 1990, the average corn for grain yield in the United States was 118 bushels per acre. By 2015, the average corn yield had increased to 168 bushels per acre. That's an increase of 42% in just one generation. Pressure from weeds and insects was reduced dramatically. Collins says the progress in overall corn production is undeniable.
When these traits first came about years ago, there was a lot of corn borer and rootworm damage in our fields. Through the use of these traits, we've eliminated a lot of it to where we don't have so much anymore.
Most of this new technology with seeds is due to field research, but a lot is accomplished in the laboratory. That's according to Brian Jones with DuPont Pioneer.
Of course, it all starts with the germplasm base. At DuPont Pioneer, we have one of the largest germplasm pools of anybody in the industry, and that really is the foundation of your breeding program and where you go from there. Without that germplasm and the initial ability of that corn plant to perform, you can put all the traits on you want, but it still comes back to that germplasm.
Jones says farmers have more options than ever before when it comes to selecting the best seed technology suited to their individual farm.
You should start with a good relationship with your seedsman, for sure, or your agronomist. So it starts with that foundation. But then it also begins with having a knowledge base of information about performance on your farm. So if you have a yield history from a number of years in the past, that's sure helpful. Knowing your soil types and knowing where you're going to put those products are very important as well. We have certain corns that will do better under more stressful conditions. We have certain corns that will do better under higher yield or irrigated conditions. So just knowing where to place these products on your farm is extremely important.
So where is this exciting technology with seeds going in the future?
Oh, I think we're just going to continue to see more technology evolve. That's the way of the world. That's what makes the farmers more competitive so that they can continue to farm and compete on a world market. These insecticide traits, these herbicide traits, it reduces trips across the field. It reduces the need to add insecticides, spray that on the plant. You don't need to do that. And so as we go forward, I think we're going to see more and more traits added to these plants, if there's an advantage to it.
Jones says the future looks bright from his perspective.
So it's an extremely exciting time to be in my business and to be in agriculture. Some of the new DNA breeding technologies that we have are going to radically change the face of corn breeding. So the next 10, even 5 to 10 years are going to be a major step change in the way we advance corn products and in the technology that we can bring to the producer.
It has been said that the American farmer will have to feed a lot more people in the next generation. Research indicates that by the year 2050, the world's population will reach 9.1 billion people. That's 34% higher than today. Food production will have to become even more efficient than it is now. The advances we're seeing in the seed industry are not alone. Modern science is creating new opportunities in numerous areas of agriculture. Well, one of the biggest trends we're seeing in Virginia's livestock industry is the increasing popularity of Boer goats. That's our focus on Ag Insights, coming up next. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Jeff Ishii, and this week we're coming to you from the beautiful Shenandoah Valley in Mount Crawford, Virginia. We want to thank the Carpenter family for welcoming us to their farm. This is Baycar Farm in Mount Crawford, Virginia, and their specialty is Boer goats. We haven't talked about Boer goats in a long, long time. These are the subject matter experts, so we're going to be talking about Boer goats today. You know, my wife said when I was leaving the house, well, what about the girl goats?
Pretty good, Jeff.
First of all, tell me about yourselves and the farm. Brian, you've been on this farm for a long time.
Yeah, grew up right across the road. Actually, this is the farm my grandparents lived in when I was growing up. It was a dairy farm. We sold our cows back in 2001, and the hardest part of that for me, Jeff, was having responsibility for my children to grow up with, similar to what I did. So my wife and I started talking and looking at different avenues we could have because, you know, there's just something about farm kids when they grow up with responsibility, they turn out to be great adults. So we started looking around, and Boer goats is just something that we found and thought, well, let's give that a try. The kids really took an interest in it. We bought our first goats in 2007, and the rest is history, as they say.
That's a topic I want to talk more about. A lot of folks treat it as a business,
yes,
and a lot of folks treat it as a hobby, and that's a good mix. And
yes,
in this particular case, it's a great mix. Bailey, your hobby of showing Boer goats, you started, I believe you told me, in first grade.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about that experience. Where were you? And just describe it to me when you were exhibiting a Boer goat for the very first time.
So of course, we got our goats in the summer, and we were practicing with them, over the summer, leading them around, getting them pretty much as a pet to walk around the show ring. And I remember stepping up to go into the ring for the first time, kind of had that butterfly feeling in my stomach. And I remember walking through the ring kind of nervous, just kind of watching everybody else around me, trying to see, how to set their legs up and everything. And of course, I'm also, looking at Carly to make sure she's got hers set up right, and then kind of trying to find mom and dad off, on the ring so they can give me the, the thumbs up that I'm doing it right. And, it went really well for me the first time. I really enjoyed it and been stuck with it ever since.
One fact, when we were talking with your wife Stephanie just a few days ago, she brought up a fact that a lot of you at home might not know this, but she told us that goat meat is actually the most popular meat on the planet. More people around the world eat goat than eat beef, chicken, fish, or whatever.
You're exactly right, and that's kind of hard to really fathom here in this country. We're more prevalent to beef and pork, and of course poultry industry, we're all huge here in the United States. But when you start looking on a global scale, goat meat is the most popular meat eaten.
Brian, tell us about this organization you're a member of. I believe it's the Blue Ridge Boar Goat Breeders.
Yes, we're one of the founding members of that organization. We started it about 4 years ago. We got together with some other local breeders, just looking to educate the public on what the boar goat industry has to offer. We put on one show every year at the Rockingham County Fairgrounds, and we also do a sale every year where new people can come and buy really good boar goats. It's an auction type base, of course, but they can come to the sale and purchase what they're looking for from reputable breeders and get something where they can either add to their herd or start their herd, whichever they're looking to do, but they know they've got a good quality base animal to start that herd with.
Now, Bailey, you told me before the segment today that you treat this pretty much as a hobby, but it's also a business.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to keep
Oh,
a count of all the numbers, and tell me about that perspective of it as a business. What do you do?
Well, I mean, I get kind of attached to some of them, especially the ones I show at the county fair here. You know, I'm working with that animal all summer, but I mean, I got to know at the end in the back of my mind, you know, that's the whole goal of the project is, you know, to make money and treat it like a business. So you get that sort of aspect before going into the real world, maybe coming back to a farm.
Mm-hmm. Brian, the popularity of goats has risen dramatically here in the Commonwealth of Virginia over the past, I'd say, 2 decades. Tell me about that growth and the reason for it.
Well, the growth has just exploded. Number one, because you don't have to have a lot of acreage for a goat. So it's real popular among smaller farmettes, if you want to call it that. It's really popular with 4-H and FFA exhibitors because they can take this animal and put it in their backyard, basically in a dog kennel if they wanted to. And it gives those kids that may not have an opportunity otherwise to show animals. You know, when you start looking at both pork or the swine and cattle, it takes a lot of support to be able to have that animal and show at a fair. Where, you know, if you've got goats, it's a much smaller scale. It's a shorter term project. They can have it, you know, for less time, and the kids really get to have fun with it. Generally, you know, they get their animals right about the time school's out, and before they go back to school, they've sold their animal at their county fair and they're ready to move on. So it gives that child something to work with all summer, and I think that's one of the reasons why it has just exploded. And then as far as the breeding part of it, a lot of these kids have shown these animals at their county fair. They get attached to them, and then they realize, hey, this is something I want to do. So they start their own small herd. They're breeding their own animals so they can show their own goats at the fair, and it's just taken off. Wow.
Bailey, is a goat a lot easier to show than, say, a market hog?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I have mixed feelings on that because I mean, I show pigs too, and I mean, pigs is where I started at. I was 9 when I started showing pigs, and I was 10 when I started showing goats, because of course we had the goats at that time, but we didn't have any goats that were born on our farm, and I wanted to show a goat for the first time in the market show that would be some of my own. So I've really got a real passion as far as showing market hogs too. That's something, I mean, as far as being easier, I mean,
depends on the hog.
That's right. I mean, hogs can have a mind of their own. You can have a hole, you know, of course, that big, and it seems like they'll go through it every time. Whereas these, they don't really go through that hole as much. I mean, they sort of have a little bit more leniency to keep in. They're a little bit easier to keep in, I think.
Brian, as a family hobby, let's talk about that for a minute. You've
Sure.
had the opportunity to travel with your kids, your wife, and spend a lot of time making new friends. Talk about that as a family hobby.
You know, Jeff, when we first got into this back in 2007, we had no clue where we were going with it. We learned a lot, trial by error. So that was one thing, but the friendships we have made across the country. You know, we've got friends now in New York where we've shown, we've got friends in Tennessee, we've got friends in Oklahoma, just different places that we have been to. And it's funny, the one common theme we find among all goat people, they all care about the animal, and they care about where the animal's going and the next goat farmer. So the shows are great. We have lots of fun with that, but the people have been the key, just meeting super people nationwide, and that's what keeps us in it.
That's well said, and we've only got a couple of minutes left in this segment. I want to dispel one myth right away, and I hope Bailey can help me do that. Tell me a little bit about the diet of a goat. Do they really eat tin cans?
No, they don't. They won't eat tin cans, but they'll definitely eat the labels off of them. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. Really? Well, how important is the diet? Do you treat these show animals like you would a prize steer or a prize lamb?
Well, I mean, I think it depends on what what you're shooting for in your herd. Like if you have a show herd and then you can have a commercial herd, you don't. there's different types of feeds. You can feed your commercial herd just a straight 16% roughly pellet, and then you can feed more your show herd like an 18% protein pellet, to really pack on more muscle for the show and pack on a little bit more conditioning.
Brian, if people at home, they've got 10 acres that they have to mow every weekend, and they've got good fence, so they're halfway there to getting in on this I don't want to call it a fad, but this trend that we're seeing with these very valuable animals.
Yes.
That they can have. What would you recommend? Where do they start getting more information?
The extension office is always a good place for them to start. They can go there, and the extension office has a great list of breeders on file. We're included on that list. But if they start with them, they can direct them in the right direction to go to talk to a local breeder so they can get information. We're always more than happy to help out the new goat farm coming up. That was one of the reasons we got involved with the goats at the Rockingham County Fair, was to help the youngsters out, and then as they have gotten older, to also educate them about goat herds and just be there for information for them. If we can do anything as far as helping the next goat farmer not make the same mistakes that we made because we learned by error, that's what we're here for. We're glad to help them.
Now, of course, county fair season is upon us, June, July, August, September. Bailey, what would you say to youngsters, teenagers, and even preteens who, they've been thinking about maybe growing a pumpkin or maybe showing an animal? What would you tell them about showing goats at a county fair?
Well, as far as when you're picking them out, me and Dad can kind of agree with this. You want like a 4x4 block with then picture 4 legs coming out of it. Just, a real wide animal, wide through its front end, wide on top. Because, it's a market project. You want to be able to get the most meat on that animal you can get.
Now, you told me again before the program today that you've learned a lot about the science and the biology of the animals. Has that helped you?
Yeah, it's sort of helped me. I know that if I go to a farm, or if I went to a farm to pick out a market project, I know that a doe is not as prone to getting urinary calculi as what a wether might be, because a doe's urinary tract is more pretty much just straight in a straight line, and that male's urinary tract is like a roller coaster. It's got loops and things in it where urinary calculi is like kidney stones, and those stones can get caught in that loop.
All right, one final question for you, Bailey, and that's when you walk into the show ring, what is the judge looking for? You described it as a cement block on 4 legs. What is the judge really looking for?
Well, he wants to make sure that animal's free moving. Pretty much when that animal walks, when he takes a step forward, you want his back leg to go right in the same hole as his front leg, and then you want to make sure he's strong across his top line. It's not like a U. You want him to be pretty straight across the top line. You want to be able to see his muscles, in his legs when he's moving, and then you also want to make sure he's wide, across his top and his front end, and just that he's a pretty structurally sound animal. You don't want his back legs to be like straight as a post. You want him to have sort of that bend. You want to see that at the hock.
And Brian, one final question for you. I noticed that you have guardian animals out here protecting these animals from potential predators. Share with me just a little bit about the animals that you selected as the guardians and why you picked those.
We actually have a llama and a Great Pyrenees both. The llama we just simply bought that at first just for the ease on us. The llama can eat the same feed that the goats do, and it's been wonderful. We've had a number of llamas over the years. We most recently went to Pyrenees dogs just because we saw how they had the natural instinct to herd animals and protect them. We've been using those now for about, I guess, 3.5 months, so we're still early on in the stage with those, but from what we've seen so far, they've just been wonderful. They do a great job of working as a team unit and guarding the animals and taking care of them. I don't know that we have a whole lot of problem around here with coyote or fox, either one. I know in different parts around this pretty locally we do have some issues, but I've never seen anything here. But I tell you, it's a whole lot easier to lay your head down at night knowing they're on guard watching for me.
You took the words right out of my mouth. You probably sleep better at night because these are high-value livestock.
Yes.
Very high-value livestock. Brian, real pleasure to have you on the program.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you for everything that you do. Good luck in everything that you do in the future. Bay Car Farm in Mount Crawford, Virginia. We'll be right back. Selecting appropriate plants for the right space is important. But for houseplants, it can be a little tricky. We learn all about it as we go in the garden with Mark Viette.
Many of our houseplants are what we call tropical plants. They're plants from different parts of the world that really may not freeze, or if they do freeze, they still get very warm at other times of the year. So these are plants that we want to bring indoors that may be growing in an area that has a lot of humidity. So I recommend a couple things. First of all, try to pick houseplants that have been grown locally in a greenhouse for a couple weeks. Maybe they've been grown all year long. But when it comes to picking a house plant, there are certain types that you can pick that I call super hardy purple thumb. For example, when we go to our greenhouse, we might find a beautiful plant like this, alocasia. Nice, beautiful, shiny leaves. But this plant needs a lot of light, but very high humidity. Very much like the peace lily right here in the front. This peace lily also needs a lot of humidity. On the other hand, you can pick a plant that is commonly known as the cast iron plant. That means it can withstand lots of environment. Low temperatures indoors, low light, dry conditions, wet conditions. So go for those easy to grow purple thumb plants like a cast iron plant. Or on the other hand, right here, we have Sansevieria. It's also known as mother-in-law's tongue. It stays with you forever. So if you want to pick one of those easy plants, you might consider Sansevieria. The other thing, when you're looking at trying to buy house plants, look at the foliage. This is a Norfolk Island pine. Beautiful, nice, green, lime, yellow foliage. But sometimes when you look closely at this, or if you feel the foliage, it's brittle, it's gray, the leaves are drooping, even the needles start to droop, or if you hit it, all the needles fall off. So try to pick a good, healthy plant. But keep in mind, Norfolk Island pines like high humidity. So you might have to set up a humidifier in your house. Bright light, high humidity, easy way to grow Norfolk Island pines. There are some other long-lived plants that you can grow indoors. One of my favorite is commonly known as the ponytail palm. And we grow this in a tropical garden in St. Thomas. And this plant has got to be almost 6 feet wide, or at least the base of it is 6 feet wide. And it's a beautiful, easy to grow, long-lived plant. Now, the only thing I will tell you on this plant, my cats love it. So it's really hard to grow this with any kind of foliage indoors in my house. Two other plants you could consider. One of them is Dracaena, which you commonly see. Just keep in mind, as it grows, it's common for them to lose the lower leaves, so occasionally you have to cut them back, which related to this plant here, commonly known as the corn plant. When you're traveling and you're going to like business places or malls, and when you see plants growing in those environments, it's a sign that that plant is a really easy to grow plant. So consider this plant, and you can see wherever it was pruned, it sent out new shoots just like this. I'm Mark Viette. Join me next time in the garden.
Our pearl of wisdom this week comes from an anonymous viewer who says, "Never confuse fame with success. Lady Gaga is one, Helen Keller is the other." You can submit your own pearl of wisdom through our website at virginiafarming.com. That does it for our show this week. Have a great week, everyone. I'm Jeff Ishii for Virginia Farming. And now for your ag trivia question of the week, the answer when we return.
90 years ago, the Virginia Farm Bureau made our local farmers a promise to protect and preserve a way of life they worked so hard to establish. We want to keep Virginia, Virginia. Anyone can be a Farm Bureau member, and there's a local Farm Bureau in every county. More information is at vafarmbureau.org.
Virginia soybean farmers are hard at work growing soybeans to produce products you use every day. Candles, soaps, even crayons can be made from soybeans. Remember, when you buy soy, you're helping to support American jobs, the economy, and our nation's energy security.
And now the answer to your ag trivia question of the week, C. To be labeled as a Smithfield ham, it has to be cured, smoked, and processed within the corporate town limits of Smithfield, Virginia.